Welcome to the Switch On podcast. My name is Adora Lumina Mbelu, Bright Light Purpose Driver, and your number one purpose and productivity coach. Each week, you will learn how to own your mind and body and make it work for you on your life's journey. I want to show you that while you may not always have control over external forces, you can create your own pathway to fulfilling your God-given mission. And it all starts with your mind. Hi guys, Adora here and welcome to another episode of the Switch On podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about how to bring good energy into your client relationships. I really truly believe that how you enter into a relationship with a client determines the outcome of the project. It determines the dynamics of the project. It determines the energy levels of that project as well. A lot of times people are so focused on just the negotiation, getting the job, and all of that stuff, and not realizing that if you don't have a happy situation within the dynamics of your client relationship, you're more likely to not give your best. You're also more likely to be frustrated even as you work on that project. And so I'm going to be talking about some of the things that have helped me to just bring that good positive energy into your relationships with your clients, with your vendors, whatever the case, even with your teammates. This can actually apply to different people. The first thing is to show up to your client meetings and conversations with good energy. So what happens typically for most people is that before you go to see the client, you might have certain biases based off of things that have happened to you in the past, the way clients have treated you, the fact that you have one person that never paid you or didn't pay you what you were worth or whatever the case. And you start to create all these biases, you're anticipating dread. Sometimes you're anticipating the worst. And if you bring that energy into your first meeting, again, that is going to determine how the entire thing plays out. So a lot of times I would say, show up to your client meeting excited, show up happy, show up wanting to add value to them, show up wanting to, to make them happy as well and to even make them, comfortable about working with you. It's really, really important. That good energy is important to bring to the table from your first meeting. The second thing is that not all small talk is small talk. So it's very easy to go into your client situations saying to yourself, I just want to focus on, getting the work done. So I just want to focus straight. So you sit in the meeting the first time and, your client is trying to make some small talk, maybe just what you consider small talk anyways, maybe you just, having conversations about things going on in their life or, a thought that they had yesterday or something they ate or whatever the case. And your brain is not listening to that. Like your mind is not there because you're just trying to dive right into the work. You're like, let's just go to the work. Okay. But the truth is in that small talk, one thing that happens is that you build connection. So again, your client feels like you're actually actively listening to them and there's just a connection that is built. Another thing it does is that sometimes in that small talk, you can actually decipher the personality of your client or the things that matter to them, the things that are important to them. It's also a great way to kind of, hear some of their likes and dislikes, right? If your client is talking about something that they had, some dinner they had 2 nights ago at a restaurant and they're talking about how amazing it is, you at least know that at the end of this project, that's a great place to take them to dinner, right? So it's never really small talk. Another thing is to ask questions to understand what they really, really need. Okay. So when you're engaging with your clients, always ask questions. I talked about this in my negotiation video and the same thing applies here is ask as many questions as possible. And don't wait for them to ask you if you have any questions, right? Sometimes when they're speaking and you're hearing something, wait for them to finish and then just say, hi, yeah, I hear you on that. However, blah, 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 ask questions because those questions will help, you to determine what they really need. Those questions, again, will also show them that you're listening. And then listen with the intent to bring them value. Okay, I always go into my client relationships, again, focusing on what their end goal is. What do these guys want to accomplish? What does this person really need? And then I'm asking myself, Adora, how can you be a bridge between where they are now and where it is that they're trying to go, right? What is the value you can bring? I don't overwhelm myself with what I cannot do. I'm always focusing on what can I do, right? So zoom in on that. Don't zoom in on the fact that you don't have this or you don't know, if you're going to be able to sort this other part out. Don't promise what you know that you cannot deliver. Okay, so focus on like, what can I do to bring value to them? And you'll be surprised that sometimes value is not just skill. It's not just skill. Many people go into client relationships focusing on their skill, right? But sometimes value is relationship. It's your client being able to trust you. It's your client being able to voice how they feel about a certain matter to you, right? It's your client being able to let you know that something is failing, you know, and that they can trust that if they express that to you, even if you can't solve it, right, you're able to provide some form of guidance at least, or you're even able to just, you know, sort of listen and help them think through it. Okay, so value is relative, but always listen with intent to bring value. And then communicate every step of the way. I think for most clients, where they really get frustrated is where you're not communicating, right? It's like you're being asked questions, or they're worrying about something or wondering about something, and you're not being responsive. So one way to keep the energy of that entire project going is to communicate per time. So when something is not working, let them know, okay? If you cannot solve something at a particular time, notify them. I know that we always want to act like we have everything under control, right? But there's nothing more frustrating than your client finding out later on that you pretended to have something under control that they could have actually helped out with, and you didn't notify them, okay? So it's important to always let them know. And in the case where you say, for instance, you know, I'm going to deliver this by close of business tomorrow. If you can't deliver it by close of business tomorrow, let them know. I know that we promised we were going to deliver it by close of business. However, something came up. I'm so sorry. I'm going to deliver it on Monday the next week, or, you know, by the next morning, whatever the case, but notify them. Also, this one is critical. And that's why I said, listen so that you know what they want, okay? Is even though, yes, the client paid you, right? They paid you for a service. I think that it's also very important to send them a gift, okay? So yes, we like to think about it as, well, I was the one providing the service. Well, they're supposed to pay me. But there's something about sending someone a thank you gift to just say, you know, it was a pleasure working with you. You know, maybe a handwritten card, a handwritten note, and, you know, something that you think they would like. And just, you know, present that to them, right? Just be grateful for the fact that you got this opportunity. Be grateful for the fact that, you know, they worked with you throughout this project and you guys have come to a successful end. And then finally, celebrate your win. Celebrate your win, okay? I think it's important to always set funds out, whether it's you, if you're a solo entrepreneur, or if you have a team, you know, or you have a business partner, whatever the case. Whenever you win at something, okay, find time to celebrate it. You can celebrate it in so many different ways. You can either do something in the office, you can take everyone out, you can decide to go, you know, have lunch, or whatever the case. It's kind of like the principle of, you know, what they call Arrigato, right? So it's Arrigato in, Arrigato out, which is pretty much, you know, essentially thanking your money, being grateful to the dynamics of what actually worked to bring this project to life, okay? Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. You will find that celebrating also just kind of gets you excited even for your next project. So you're just like, yes, we won and we're going to win again, okay? So I hope this helps you to just bring good energy into your relationships, good energy into your business relationships, your client relationships, okay? So you can always execute with joy and with fulfillment at the end of the day. If this helped you, please feel free to share it with your community, share it with your friends, your family, everyone that needs to hear this, okay, so that their lives can be improved as well. Follow me on Instagram at adora.lumina. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also subscribe to my podcast, Switch On with Adora. And I can't wait to catch you on the next episode of Switch On.